This ain't no joke, this ain't no game. This that CSZ game. They said pull up, so I came. You better put some respect on their name. Yeah, 55, what's goody? Kill the vibe, how could it? Big Cardinal on the hoodie. Let me break it down for you fully. This ain't your average broadcast. This ain't just no podcast. Them other shows spread fake news. We just call them broadcast. West, Joey, Sam, Sean, Dante. And you know that boy Higgy. He said he don't want no small fries. Tell them they better make them biggie. Yeah, you already know what we be on. We got the crown, we hold the throne. We throw the mails and you take them home. When they ring the bells, you know that it's home. The bar set, we setting the tone. If we set it, then set it in stone. Sit in the street, set up your phone. You in the Cardinal sports zone.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to this week's impromptu episode of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. We are coming to you live from, I would say, Fitness Market Studios North, but the permanent studios until we get moved of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. My name is Jeremy Wallman. Here with us tonight is the incomparable and sometimes inaudible Higgy. Higgy, what's good, man?
Nothing much. How's everybody doing?
I think everybody is doing just fine. The chat lines are open, as you all know, because y'all are tuning in. Steve, Miss Kelly, Wes, what's up? I know it's just my guy Cardinal, who, by the way, I think I made the best wings ever this week out in the smoker. I've been doing some smoke therapy.
Better than Chris's?
Of the healthy. These ones I fixed the other night. I don't want to say better than Chris's because Chris's Grippo wings are they're up. I'll tell you this much. They're up there. I'm not a professional or anything, but shout out to my guy, Chris Mull. He's the one that makes all my seasonings for me. This one rub he has, we call it the money rub because everything you put it on is just amazing. And we're going to have to have some sort of get together over here at some point to where I can invite some of my closest friends that tune in to come eat, hang out, talk, shoot the bull, and have a good time. As always, if you want to support the podcast, let me just get all the business out of the way. You want to support the podcast, look underneath myself. You can find all the ways to do that, whether it be Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, whatever. Those are the three that are on there, right? And then underneath Higgy, you can see all the places you can follow us on social media. We will have a new overlay. I don't know if we'll have – y'all love the theme song, so I'm inclined not to change it. But my guy B. Sim come to me the other week at the TBT, said he had a great idea for a new theme. I'm just not sure, especially as much money as I paid for the last theme song by myself. Thanks for chipping in, Higgy. I don't know that I want to pay for a new theme song. But anytime he hits me up with new ideas, I love it. Can you just imagine a CSZ podcast theme song with B Sim featuring Jack Harlow? Woo, that'd be tough. Jason Baker says Higgy is looking like an OnlyFans cover shot. Only if that fan is Grimace. I'm sorry. He set me up. I knocked it down. I'm sorry. And as always, shout out the podcast on Twitter while you're listening, while you're watching. And don't forget to hit that like button. Let me downsize my script so we can get to business. We're just doing a miscellaneous like odds and ends type show today because next Saturday night at 7 p.m. Higgy won't be able to be with us, so I know everybody will tune in. But we're gonna do our college football preview of the Louisville Cardinals. Obviously, we've been doing pretty big kickoff shows. That'll kick off season 5. This is the last episode of season 4. Hi, Kelly. It's going to be pretty. It's not going to be as big as last year when we did it out Shack in the Back with the GOATs, Lavelle Boyd and Chris Redman. But because I still am not really in good enough shape to condition, wind, whatever, fatigue, however you want to put it. I sitting here in the chair is tiring me out at times. I'm still building it up, still slow but sure. I'm getting there, but can't do a big to do this time. next year, if there is a next year, which God willing, there will be one, things that have happened this year to me had me wondering if we were going to get a season 5 off the ground. But man, we're closing in on our 200th episode as well. Miss Kelly, I don't know. I want to, but I just don't know if my body can handle it. I as some of you all know, I did travel to Detroit last week. I think it was 2 weekends ago for a SummerSlam, the wrestling event, and it just did not. That and the 10 miles we walked around Detroit Saturday, I slept the entire way home. I got home. My wife was excited to see me. My mom was here. She was excited to see me. I slept the whole night, slept the whole evening, slept the whole night. Didn't wake up till about 8 o'clock the next morning. So I'm just not there yet. I really want to go to the Georgia Tech game, but I'm just not sure if I can make it. Trust me, I want to be better just as much as y'all want me to be better. As much as Higgy wants to grow his beard out, apparently, which I didn't know was a thing. But yeah, it's going to be a good season. I feel like good time. But I didn't want next week to get bogged down by all the basketball talk or any other talk. So I don't know how long the show is going to be tonight. Obviously, we just play it by ear most nights. This night, truly, I didn't even write a script. I'm like, let's just go with the flow, see what everybody wants to talk about, and we'll get all those questions answered and out of the way now so that next week, pretty sure it'll be me, Sean, Sam, and Dalton at the very least, and a special guest, former Louisville great. I'm not going to tell you who it is yet for 2 reasons. One, because football players are sketchy. They can't. I mean, I don't know how I'm as responsible as I am, but they may cancel and I may have to get a backup. And I don't want to advertise filet mignon then serve y'all up a double cheeseburger from the value meal. What's good, Justin? So I'll tell you this: if the person that I want to come on comes on, you all will love it. He's in the Ring of Fame at Louisville. So I'll leave you at that. I'm just going to tease you that way. That's all I'm going to say. And let me check to make sure. Obviously, I got to do all this in real time because I don't have any help other than Tom Jeffries. What's good, Corey? See, I have to get on Facebook because it's not pushing our Facebook messages through still. So what's good, Corey? What's good, Tom? What's good, Ryan? Everybody tuning in. I thought that Steve's message came through earlier. Oh, he went through and he went through YouTube to check it out. So, well, anyway, we had a little bit of mass hysteria this week. When is that never not the case at the University of Louisville? 5-star guard. I won't say which one because I don't want to offend him or anybody else. Trenton Flowers decommitted, I guess you'd say, at the very last minute. Left the Louisville basketball team, which put us in kind of a bind. And then come to find out at the end of the week, our others, I would say he's a star guard. I was very excited for him to get here. Ty-Laur, is it Johnson? Ty-Laur Johnson, right?
Yep.
Don't know what the case is. That it's not over. It's not a done deal. Thank you, Justin. I appreciate you moving on. The official statement I got when I asked earlier was it's all in the academic office's hands. So that could be a good sign. I don't know. It could be a situation. Hello, Ellen. Where he may not be eligible to the second semester. I don't think there's a situation unless KP and the group just say we're just gonna keep you out the whole year. I do think there is a shot for him to join mid-season. That's purely a guess. But you got to think if he is teetering on the line now, and it's up to the academic office to I think they got to apply for a waiver or something, an exemption. That there's a chance. I mean, yes, I'm saying there's a chance. This is really distracting watching. So the Facebook feed is on a tape delay. No, Average. You're absolutely right. Oh, Teresa's watching. You're sitting right next to me in the living room. Thanks for watching. You can't let it, like, at the end of the day, these kids, and this is what has got on my nerves the last couple years is that Louisville fans, we have had the 7 or 8 worst years in athletics when you put in the letdown we experienced from Bobby and the letdown we had with Satterfield on the football side. In baseball, we've had a couple of letdown seasons in there. Volleyball, we get right there towards the end, and then we lose that. And then to top it all off, basketball has just been one self-imposed, last one out of the tournament, just don't make the tournament, 4-win season right after the other. I mean, we've lost many a star recruits. So at the end of the day, here's how I look at the Trenton Flowers situation. This is not because I've known his mom for about a year, or I've talked to him occasionally throughout the time he's been committed to Louisville. His dream was going pro. He got presented with the offer. Now, the timing was horrible. Will we ever know when he got the offer? No, we will never know that unless he comes out with a tell-all book. It is what it is. But we truly do not know what the true situation is there. But he wanted to come to Louisville so he could go pro. He committed to Louisville. Now he's going pro. I wish him nothing but the best. That's just like a couple years ago when we had, I forgot who it was, but one of the football players wanted to leave early and declare for the NFL draft. And, oh, you weren't that good in it. You don't have to be a negative reaction to every action. It's like, that's what the Kentucky fans do. I can't even tell, and that may offend some people, and I apologize, but there's a portion of this fan base that makes me not even be able to tell the difference. If you covered up the Twitter names and bios, I wouldn't be able to tell you, what's up, BJ? I wouldn't even be able to tell you who was who, because the one thing I remember from growing up, Louisville fans they weren't cocky, they weren't showboaty, they weren't hateful, they weren't negative. The swing started about 12 years ago, and you started seeing, we had a couple of good seasons in a row in every sport, and they started getting, Lance, my man, what's up? I'm trying to be like you. Louisville basketball timeout. That's what I'm trying to be like you, Lance. At the end of the day, that was pretty good. I may come for your job at some point. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Wes says, got to keep the faith and positive energy for Ty-Laur. I figured that's why he came in late. He was probably doing summer courses. So to pull back the curtain a little bit, I had asked about Ty-Laur earlier in the week, and I was told, no, we're not going to get him. And then 2 days later, he was enrolled. So I don't know if he meant we're not going to get him because he's not going to play. Not that we're not going to get him. He's like, nah, he's not going to play. The person I spoke with, we're going to keep him anonymity. I know that, John. The local media does prop up the negative crap, and we got one of them douche canoes out of here. Just got a couple more to go, but it is what it is. So I was told Wednesday that I asked specifically, and it was like, no, I don't think. Actually, as I'm remembering it was, I don't think so, man. It's just too late. 2 days later, he was enrolled. Now, they could have been meaning they didn't tell me he wasn't going to enroll. So they may have knew he was going to enroll and was still like, no, he's not going to play. So, I did not verify or rectify. D-Wall was good. Let me see, because I asked some more questions before we went on the air live. Oops. So let's see if anybody got back to me. Y'all know I love doing that. Shout out to my guy Court Dennison on the staff at Utah. He's working hard out there. Appreciate you, my man. What's going on? Oh, okay. I was like, I knew what you meant anyway. You didn't have to, it's not like Higgy was typing. No, and hopefully it's not the case. But I honestly, in my head, already moved on from him a couple weeks ago, because in my mind, if you're going to get a kid eligible for this season, that's going to be done a month before the season starts, not or a month before school starts. Apologize, not the day before. Like, they start Monday, right, Higgy?
Yes, they start Monday.
Great answer. So we'll have to see. I don't want to. I'm not trying to be negative either. Y'all know me. That's just not me. But I don't foresee him starting off the season. I hope. There she is. I hope that he gets to play the second semester, kind of like Manny did last year. But at the end of the day, whatever happens, happens. Yeah, I'm just trying to be real. Steve Rummage in the building. Yeah, that's cool. I can't see you in person, but you join the feed here. I appreciate it. And I get stuck with Higgy. You can't return my text, but I get stuck with Higgy. We could have been doing the show tonight. No offense, Higgy. I mean, a little offense, but none.
Appreciate it.
A little. I mean, it was intended, but it wasn't malicious. Right? That's right. Yeah, that's right. Little Barry told me yesterday that they are going to be just fine this year. That's true. Higgs, good seeing you. I hate you, Steve. You know, Steve, for somebody that's supposed to be my best friend, you sure are a come on, get your composure, Jeremy. Composure. Listen, I don't have to take this anymore. Hope everything's going to go with you, brother. Keep up the great work. Thanks, BJ. I appreciate you. You know, for my side job, I interview the greatest wrestlers in the world, and they treat me with more respect than my best friend Steve Rummage allegedly does.
What about Jeff Nunn? Give me the shout out here.
Where did Jeff Nunn shout you out?
Facebook.
I don't see it.
I got two supporters
I do see it.
in the
I
chat.
do see it. Hi, Higgy. I love you. This whole world's turning upside down. First, Higgy calls and wishes my mom a happy birthday yesterday. Steve's on here being nice to Higgy just because he ran into him last week. So I guess that means that him and Higgy are best friends now, according to the laws of Higgy. Jeff's telling him he loves him. What is going on?
And I'm getting loved on by my dog over here, so I don't know what's up.
You deserve that kind of love. No offense.
Uh-huh.
Again, a little bit of offense, but anyway, so to get back, let's see. The most successful teams recently don't have freshmen leading their backcourt. Maybe Flowers didn't want to hear that. I truly don't. Let's look at this perspective, and I'm sure, you know, I know Steve and them went over this the other day. A lot of people went over this. This is just my take. I've known that family for about a year. This completely blindsided. This did not sound like anything that the mom or Trenton would have done on their own. If y'all get what I'm saying without me having to say it, because I'm not trying to talk trash about nobody. There was somebody in his ear that led him to believe this was the best decision. Just talking, Uncle Larry in the house, just talking to Trenton's mom the other day after this happened. She said that he was hurt. He didn't really want to, you know, the dog smells the Whataburger on Higgy's breath. Yup. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the background noise. Teresa's got on her, hey, I can hear that and I can hear her. Because it's loud. It's live TV, pal. You wanted me to do the show down here instead of in the office, so the dog does smell the Whataburger on Higgy's breath. But I don't think he wanted to do it. I think he did get the opportunity and didn't want to pass it up. But I really do believe he was torn. And a lot of people just immediately like ripped him up one side and down the other. That's y'all's prerogative. Y'all do what y'all want to do. That's just that's, I don't know. I was just completely blindsided by the whole situation. It's done and over. I wish him the best. I wish he would give us a little bit more leeway. Let's see. We need to move and stop talking basketball. It's football season. Let's play football, Jeff Nunn. Well, Jeff, if you were here at the beginning of the show, then you would know that next Saturday we are going to have our CSZ college football kickoff show, which you're more than welcome to join us for. We don't normally let older outsiders in, but we're Higgy can't be here next week, so you can just take his place, and there will be room for another person. The most successful. Okay, so.
You said Saturday. I can make Saturday now.
No, you already told me. Which day did you say you couldn't make it?
Thursday and Friday.
Oh yeah. Those are the days we're doing it. No, it's not true. So it is what it is. I don't know. And obviously, while I'm wrapping up with Ty-Laur, and Trenton, y'all send us some questions. We'll answer them to the best of our abilities. Again, I try to be an open book. The people I know that I try to be an open book. I always call and ask for stuff that I can share with you all before the shows. That's what I was told I could share with you all today. Was the academic. You know, they're trying to get this going. So yes, I'm saying there's a chance. Steven, what's up, big Steven Pollard in the house? What's good, man? Looking to see Utah. Okay. Again, shout out to my guy Court Dennison doing work out there in Utah. So, Higgy, you're always trying to hit me up and ask me for inside information. I don't always answer you back because either A, it's nothing that I'm allowed to talk about, or B, you send me DMs from people I don't care for and ask me questions about it without revealing those names, because I know how you are. Do you have any questions for the champ? Wait a minute. And I say that for a reason, because while I was in Detroit, I picked up a new championship. So any questions for the champ, Higgy?
No, I was going to ask you, how'd you think of the volleyball scrimmage today? The red-white scrimmage. Or red-black scrimmage, I should say.
I gotta put my 12-pound championship belt back up on the counter without knocking me over. JK in the building. What's up, JK? People need to stop hitting the panic button. Griffin Sky said we're good, so we're good. Yeah, I was going to say, I had an extensive conversation with Sky Clark the day that Trenton bounced on us, and he's like, I don't know why everybody's tripping. Yeah, it would have been nice to have a little bit of depth at the other position, but he truly believes, and I've heard a lot, and this isn't my personal opinion, because y'all know I love L. Ellis. I've kept in contact with him. He's always checking up on me to see if I'm doing well. Him and Sidney Curry both. Much love to them, and hope they have the greatest seasons of their life this year. But I have heard people up there describe Sky Clark as L. Ellis, but with discipline and control. And I don't know if I don't think that's a negative per se, because L kept us in a lot of games. And he's a phenomenal player. Fabian just joined in. Will Ty Johnson be able to play? Fabian, I do not know that. I did cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase at Ford Field. Seth was coming out, and I hit him with the briefcase and took his title. That was the most amazing wrestling event I've ever been to. I've been to the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, you name it, I've been there. SummerSlam, and I would go on to say that was probably the greatest SummerSlam of all time. Thanks, Steven. I appreciate that. Louisville football no worse than 9 years. Okay, let's talk about that a little bit, because that's what we're gonna focus on next week. Let's get the basketball out of the way and other stuff first. So Ty-Laur, it's up in the air. It's not a definite no. It's not a definite yes. I was told today that the academic office is trying to file either an exemption or a waiver or something, but they're trying to get him together. So that's all I have for you right now. And he may have, Fabian. Hopefully Steve is working with Sky. He is. What's good, William? William Lee in the house. Did you see the write-up by the NBC Notre Dame guy on Louisville? No, I didn't, but send it to me on Twitter. National champions say, good evening, Card Nation from Fern Creek. Why was he so late? His grades. I mean, that's what I've heard, and not a knock against him. I don't know what kind of academic experience he had in high school or whatever, but I was told that he would be coming in on an academic red shirt. If he can't be cleared to play, he'd be coming in on an academic red shirt. So to me, so what that tells me logically is that there's one class that can either make him eligible or flip him to non-eligible, and they're waiting to see what they can do with that. I don't know if they're trying to get an extra credit or what. That's speculation. But it could be summer school, Fabian. Uncle Larry says, what do you think the strength of our upcoming football team will be? Sean, what's good? All right, let's get into a little football because I can't stay on track with and this is why I want to get the basketball out of the way this week. So next week when we do our season 5 CSZ kickoff show, that can be all about football, and hopefully, knock on wood, there will be no basketball talk next week. Do I think TJ Capers gets any time on the field this season? I do. Chris says, have you heard how recruiting him basketball is going for next year? No, but I am scheduled to have a talk next week about that. Good Lord, you have to find out these things before you go after a kid. Well, to be fair, Fabian, we were told he was good when we started going after him. So, meanwhile, a kid who got paid overseas is ready to go. Not only that, he's taken, like, a lot of people are talking, oh, maybe we can go get somebody else. We can't go get somebody else. If Ty-Laur takes his scholarship, Trenton already used his scholarship money, so that counts towards this year. So we don't have an extra scholarship. When people were talking about that D2 kid yesterday, what do you think about it? I'm like, there's nothing to think. We have no scholarships available. What's up? I'm sorry I'm late. I'm on God's time. This mug. Jeff left. Aren't we all? Trying to live good. What's up, 55? Scuba Steve. Hope you're doing well. I'm trying to. All I know is I'm the best player in practice at all times. I hate y'all in a loving way. Ray, what's up, Ray? Okay, so some classes may not. You may have issues. Great point, Miss Kelly. Sometimes you have class transfer issues. I actually did my freshman year going into Louisville. Some of my JCC credits, first they didn't count, and then they cleared them. Like, I literally didn't think I was going to Louisville, and I got an acceptance letter. So they worked it, and they didn't even call me to tell me. It was just, hey, you're eligible, so let's get it in. Jeremy, we need to talk privately. Okay, send me a message. I'm happily married, so I'm not looking for a mate or anything. Hi, Charity. Wish we could get together sometime. I miss y'all. I don't miss Steve anymore. Just you and the kids. The kids. That Notre Dame is going to be a great atmosphere. Okay, strength of our football team. I think, Higgy, I'll let you give your opinion since we're doing a short show tonight. It is what it is. It does make it harder on the credit hours. Mom's Kelly in the building. She's all like, that's another thing I can say. All the moms, football, basketball, so supportive of what we do here in the community. As far as podcasting goes, because we don't crap on their kids. Like we try to focus on the positives, even when there's negatives looming. Like, sometimes if there's something negative that happens, we don't even speak on it because we can't change it. We don't want to talk bad about the players. At the end of the day, they're still, even though they're 21, 22-year-old men, they're still in college. They're still college kids. A lot of them haven't ever experienced living on their own. I mean, prime examples in basketball. I had a friend, and I won't say his name in case it embarrasses him, but had never taken care of himself. Got to college. His parents weren't around. I was the only person that I was going to school up there, and I was the only person that would help him out because he didn't have no way. He didn't know what to do. Some of these kids live on their own for the very first time in college. They would to get a waiver to get a scholarship open. I don't know about that. Plummer throws for 250 in the first 4 games. I agree with that. My low for football is 8 games. Okay, so while I'm about to address the questions in the Facebook chat, you all tell me what you expect. What are your expectations for this football season as far as wins, in bowl? What tier bowl game we end up in, and I'll address that. Obviously, Justin, you've already spoke up, and a couple other people have. But what do y'all think? Let me know. For me, I think so. To me, the most apparent strength is the defensive line. We've got so many key returners coming back. We had some great transfers come in. So I think the most apparent strength is our D-line. I think the most underrated strength is our secondary. I know we lost a key player, my man MJ Griffin, but I think we've got the youth and the talent coming in for that position to be surprisingly good. Did you see Boomer on Twitter put us as? Yeah, I had a talk with him about that. I thought it was ridiculous. All right, Nick, I'm gonna need you to calm down a little bit. Lee said hi from Orlando. Miss my fellow Card fans. I'll be there in mid-October, coming for a couple of weeks before I have my next surgery. 7 to 5. Oh, that's what Coach said about our D line today. Okay, cool. Hard question as far as wins. I don't think I ever said. Let's see. Yeah, just hit me up on Facebook, Sean. Justin Kruger says 8-4 or 9-3. Tom Jeffrey says 10 wins and a New Year's 6 bowl. That's pretty lofty. Steven says 9 wins or better, maybe a second-tier bowl game against the SEC. I got you, Lee. 9-3 for Cardinal. Average Honky said 7-5 or 8-4. And let's see, 10-2 New Year's Day, New Year's 6 bowl for William Lee. Justin said his low for football is 8 games, still in his 10. He's got his season tickets ready, and he's ready to go. Okay, so here's where I'm at, and I'll tell you why I am. I tend to side with the average one here, because the worst thing that we can do as a fan base is sit here and get overexcited. Jeff Brom's never coached at Louisville. Most of these players have never played on offense, have never played at Louisville significant minutes or at all. I want to give them the time to get on the field. I almost don't even next week want to give a prediction, because these guys could be really, really good, or they could be very mediocre, because it was like I was talking about on the ACC Nation podcast with my guys, Jim and Will, the other night. Potential is out the roof for this team. Will the talent and the potential match up? That's what Nick, I could see 5-0, but I'm a Louisville fan. I've seen really good teams fall to really bad teams. First loss at NC State. We could go 1-11. I'll be fine as long as we beat UK. Well, Justin Kruger says he likes the quarterback. That's the deep. I was telling them that too. I'm glad you brought that up, JK. Deepest quarterback room I think we've ever had. You think the secondary is the strength of the team? D-line and wide receiver aren't far behind. I would switch D-line and secondary for me, because just with the MJ's injury, that's a big loss. But again, I think we had the talent to back that up. 8 wins and a very confident squad in the next season. I like that. We're definitely beating Yuck. I won't say their name. Treat all opponents the same. And that's the hardest thing to do in sports. I can remember, even going back to my high school days, we had started off the season against Trinity, and I have no idea why we scheduled this way, but we played them we played Trinity and St. X every year, whether it be scrimmage or regular season. But we started off the season with Trinity. We had a chance to win. We barely lost to them, and that gave us a lot of confidence. So we busted the next 8 in a row, and we're like, oh my gosh, we're 8-1. We're ranked 5th in the state. We're about to win the whole thing. And all we have standing in our way of a 9-1 season is 1-8 Iroquois. They're doo-doo water. Well, that week they decided to come to our field after practice and spray paint all kinds of words on our field. And they got in our heads, and we lost. And then the next week we hosted Butler, and we went out there just acting like we were playing the game of Madden. Like, oh, we'll get it together at halftime. Well, they absolutely slowed the pace down. They were running the play clock all the way down. They were they took advantage of us, and we didn't treat them all the same. So exactly, if you treat all the opponents the same, you should not fail. Anywhere on the DB from Purdue that jumped in the portal? I don't have anything on him right now, not yet. I'm excited to see the coaches running the attack. Yeah, I don't know how much we're going to run the ball. I mean, it's like I was telling them the other night on the ACC Nation podcast, which I'm going to plug them as much as I can because they love having me on. I'm an instant rating spike for them, they tell me. It's like I was telling them, I'm excited to see an offense from the day when I was growing up. We had the best quarterback, in my opinion, in the country, almost, whether it be Jeff Brom or Chris Redman or Brian Brom or Teddy Bridgewater or Dave Ragone or Stephon LaFours or Hunter Cantwell. Now, Hunter may not have been the best in the country, but he was pretty darn. He got drafted, so he was pretty darn good. Like, we had a pass heavy. It was three passes for every one run. That's what I expect to see this year. Even with somebody as electrifying as Johar Jordan, I think that we're a pass heavy team. No, fair enough, and yeah, it is tough. I just want to shut them up because they're not as good as they think. Absolutely. Oh man, what year was that? What year was LaFours?
03 to during my childhood, so 03, 04.
Oh, it was during Higgy's childhood. Shut up, Higgy. Look it up. What's up, Hunter? Brock going to back up Jack. Then who's QB3? I don't know that Brock. Yeah, JK said 03, 04 as well. I don't know that. I hope that Brock backs up Jack, but I don't know that he does. It sounded like it is a race between him. Higgy, we talked about it last night. Who's the other guy that everybody said that they thought was going to be the backup?
Harrison Bailey.
Yeah.
And Brady Allen.
Brom emphasized running the ball post-scrimmage interview today. Well, there you go. I just don't know if that I don't know. I mean, you almost can't not run the ball with a guy like that. Anytime I see the phrase jumped in the portal, I think a Star Trek or sci-fi movie. Anthony, yep. Okay, you heard it here. Miss Kelly says Brock will be the backup. And y'all know, as a supporter of our podcast, we love Brock, so I like to hear that. But, yeah, we did have people DMing us this week telling us that from watching practice, they thought that the Bailey kid was. So I trust you over them, obviously. We got our own, we need to make Miss Kelly a CSZ correspondent, on the field correspondent, or we can give her an anonymous role where she can just let us know stuff going on, and we can call her Agent X, Agent K. Do what, Higgy?
What about Miss Jocelyn if she's ever here? The queen.
Absolutely. She never misses it. Like, I sprung this on everybody, so I knew as many people that are tuned in, we appreciate that. I knew it wasn't going to be a huge show tonight because Atlanta's in the house with Walter Hale. Jeff Nunn says Q will lead the ACC in interceptions. I don't doubt that. Okay. All right. But yeah, but you can still, though, I can say this. As a kid growing up, I saw Chris Redman throw for 4,000 yards, and then Michael Bush, or not the same year, obviously, but I seen, Brian Brom passed for a lot of yards, and Michael Bush rushed for a lot of yards. So, and that was a pass-heavy offense. So, I mean, it's possible. Absolutely, JK said 1,000 for Johar is feasible. Absolutely. 1,000 for Johar. I expect 1,000 out of him and about 3,000 passing yards from Plummer. So, nothing big, just 3,000 yards. Higgy, every time I be quiet to give you time to talk, you just sit there and look at me like I'm a Twinkie.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm looking at some of the stats for Bull East right now. They're playing down 1 to Wilford County. I just saw that North Hardin, our commitment, Boykin just went off for 4 touchdown catches and a 48-38 loss. Red-White in the red-black scrimmage. There may be some surprising starters coming out of volleyball this year. So
there you go. See, that's what you do. When I'm taking a drink, you inform the people. You let them know. Walter says who's coming down to the A for the season opener. I really want to. I just don't know that my body can take it right now.
Open.
Oh, Wes thinks 35. I said 30,000. He said 3,500. Well, guess what? My final prediction, 3,501. That's what I'm predicting for Jack Plummer. I always want to call him Jake Plummer for some reason. So I'm going. I'm going over. Actually, I'm not even going to say numbers, so that way he doesn't add one more. I'm going the over. He said 3,500. I'm going the over. Can't make it to Atlanta, but going to Indy. We play in 4 NFL stadiums this year. We got Indy, we got Lucas Oil, we got Mercedes-Benz. We play up at Heinz Field. Not calling it the other name, never will. And we play down at Miami's Pro Stadium. Kelly said 37.49. Gosh dang. Yes. Actually, I'm gonna go $1. How about that? I'm going $1, 1 yard. He's gonna throw for 1 yard. Closest without going over. No, nobody can tell me 2.
No, I saw a prop bet today that said, how many quarterbacks will Jeff Brom use this year? Because in Purdue, the last 2 years at Purdue, he used over 3 different quarterbacks in a system. So, kind of curious on that prop bet.
Uncle Larry says Chris Redmond was B.J. Flynn in a football helmet. Look, I can tell you this. Not only did I have the honor and privilege of him being my quarterback at Louisville, Chris is one of the most amazing people I've ever met. He's one of my best friends. I love him like a brother. He checks up on me all the time. Congratulations to Cal last night. Speaking to him, they came away with the victory last night. But you're right. He was B.J. Flynn in a football jersey. He was so scrappy. I can remember, I think it was against Illinois at home. He was heading down towards the goal line and took off, and he got hit, but he like helicopter spun into the end zone for a touchdown. That dude was tough. Jeff says, I don't think Brom goes pass heavy. I say play calls will be 52-48. Okay, well, I mean, sorry for thinking that a quarterback would not be pass heavy. I didn't watch a lot of Purdue football. So I did see Chuck Sizzle last year, whoever Gus Johnson was talking about there, but I didn't really pay much more attention. My coach is dope. He loves LL Cool J. Yes, he is dope. He does love LL Cool J. I love LL Cool J. I'm just expecting this to be, like I said earlier, we've had a tough 8 years, both football and basketball wise, being a fan of the U of L, and it's kind of turned some of our own fans against us. With success, it breeds contempt. And I think that we got used to such a high level of play, performance, that once we had a little, and trust me, in basketball, that wasn't self-inflicted. Well, I mean, it was, but not by anybody on the court. In football, I mean, I honestly think that Bobby's tenure would have been way different if he hadn't a lot. Because trust me, I was on the fence when they said, well, his heart just wasn't in it because he lost his dad. I was like, well, you know, everybody loses relatives and it's tough on them. I'd never lost a parent at that point, but then I lost my dad, and I could totally see how that could have messed him all the way up. So again, we were just a victim of poor circumstance there. And then we got sat on the last few years. And again, I think Coach Satterfield was a good dude. I just think this job was way too big for him. I wish him the best of luck unless we play him. So Brock is the backup. Should we be worried? It's a great question. We'll have Agent KG 803 let y'all know about that. I think Jaws goes for 1,600 total yards. I could see that. He has the second most experience, so that's why. Okay. Listen, our new co-host KG is letting y'all know about that stuff. Plus, y'all also shows the versatility is. He does remind me a lot of. He reminds me a lot of Bilal Powell and Kobe Smith in the fact that he could both run the ball well, and even Hassan Hall was a decent receiving back, even though he had fumbleitis. Loved him. Here we go. They're taking over the show. I should go ahead and just shoot Kelly the link so she can hop on here and be the featured person. I'm messing with you. Most likely white. Woo! Man, I really wish that we could bring back those ones we wore the last time. Was that the Murder Bird? Was that in Atlanta also? I believe so.
Higgy. Yep, that was the first game of the Murder Birds, and only game.
Gosh, I'll ask you a question, and you're just like looking at DoorDash.
The quote unquote ghost jerseys that have been supposedly leaked.
Jeff wants to know, are you going to Atlanta, Higgy? Do you know any good buffets down there?
I'm going to try to, but I do not know any buffets, but I'm going to hit the varsity while I'm down there.
What's the word on the glow game? Sounds like a cool idea. I'll leave that to Miss Kelly. I have no idea. And that has been our time with Miss Kelly. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so, I mean, back to my initial point. Let's not overhype this team so much that we're disappointed. Let's shoot for 7 or 8 wins. Do I personally think that we could win 10 games this year? I absolutely do. If the potential and the talent line up. If we don't take any team for granted, I absolutely think 10 wins is attainable. But I do too, Miss Kelly. Sometimes that's just not the case with our football team. So, hi, Lauren. Hey, what's up, Kev? So it is what it is. I again, I think 10 wins is attainable, but I'm going to tell myself 7 or 8 wins is what we're going to get. We were going over it the other night, and I was telling them how Virginia and Wake Forest make me nervous every year, when Florida State doesn't make me nervous at all, and how upside down the ACC always seems to be. Well, except for Clemson, they always spank us pretty easily.
But I'm seeing a lot of early projections say us and Clemson in the conference title game, which would be interesting.
Let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready for that.
I take the neutral field game.
I am ready for that. But let me go back because I think I missed a couple of 1,600 total yards for Jaws. Yeah, I mean, I see that. That's what I was getting ready to get to. See, I knew it would connect the dots for me. I was talking about how you reminded me of Bilal and Kobe and guys like that. My next question is, which newcomer are you all the most excited to see? I'm gonna go ahead and go with because I was a tight end. Plus that's the position I'm most excited about. Jamari Johnson. That guy's got Gerald Christensen's hands and Mekhi Becton's blocking abilities. Like, this kid looks on paper like a surefire NFL draft pick. Higgy, who's your guy? What's your opinion?
So if I'm going to go defensively, I'm going to go Stanquan Clark. I really think he's going to be a major impact on our linebacking core. If I'm going offense, I'm really curious to see Kevin Coleman. We've heard a lot of great things so far out of the offseason with him. I think he may push Amari Huggins-Bruce to maybe the slot. He may be the starting slot receiver, maybe.
Getting back to the Facebook chat, because for some reason it's still not coming through on the regular chat. I've been on the line with the great people at Restream, and they said they're working on it, but it ain't been fixed yet. But Jeff Nunn says Heron is who he's looking forward to seeing. Tom Jeffrey says Johnson and Capers. JK said Johnson and Aaron Williams, which I think Aaron Williams is going to be one of the kids that does. He would be my number 2. Kelly says Joey Gatewood looks good. Wes says, when I was younger, Bilal came to my school. William Lee says, Mom's Kelly. Gatewood will thrive in this offense. And Callaway or Bell for Miss Kelly. Yes, he does. Anthony, great point. He's got the first guy off the team bus type of frame. He's so intimidating. He's the guy that I was the most excited about in this class, because it didn't look like we were going to get him. It wasn't until the last second that I got a text from one of my contacts on the football team. They're like, we freaking got him. I don't believe it. So I'm excited. Like I said, he can block like Mekhi, who I love as a person, a friend. His mom's also really, really awesome as well. But he can catch like, I said Gerald Christensen earlier, and Christian, good Lord, I can't even talk. Higgy's on here with me, so I'm messing up the names. But even guys like Pete Nocta could catch the ball. Richard Owens could catch the ball really well. Like, just really good. Kind of like how I used to catch the ball. Acknowledge me. It's just great tight. He's most tight ends are either great catchers or great blockers. This kid's the total package. Mr. Capers for Uncle Larry. So Wes says Thrash and Thompson. Jamari Thrash. Oh, yeah. On offense. Jamari Thrash, I've been looking forward to seeing what he is made of as well. So let's see the text line. Oh, no, that was a personal text. Apologize. But yeah, we're going to talk about, I'm trying to get all my stuff out now so I can let everybody else talk next Saturday night. Again, Saturday, 7 p.m. We will be coming to you. Let's see. Did I go ahead and? Oh, yeah. There you go, Higgy. Here's some of my favorite ones from the past. Okay, so y'all see the ticker. Here's one of my other favorites. If you know a female that is 28 to 38 and not a blow-up doll that is single, please help us get Sean a date.
I think it needs to be higher now.
It does. For a good time, call Sean Barber, and that's his actual phone number. Are your snacks missing? DM our tip line at I am the Higgy. I love those. But anyway, next Saturday night, 7 p.m., special show. Ronnie Gent. Yes, I'm glad you says review, not preview. Gosh dang it, Higgy. You had one job.
What?
You misspelled preview. It's okay. I forgive you. Anyway, thank you for pointing that out, Tom. Wesley, Insider Sick Callaway. Quincy, okay. Quincy Riley will have more than 6 interceptions. I say 8. I think 8 is the bare minimum for him. And I think he has a 3-pick game at some point during the year. Just last year watching him, he's one, and I talked about this on the national podcast that I was on the other day, the ACC Nation. He was one of the guys that you watched last year mature every single game, get better sometimes you don't see that on the field, but you could see him make mistakes early and rectify that, and he got better every game. He matured every game. So if he can do that again this year, the sky's the limit. Gerard Holloman's interception record may be in danger, is all I'm saying. Wesley says Jamar looks amazing, especially since he slimmed down like a pro. Yep. Going with the over on Quincy. So we're all going over on 6, and not just because you're in here with us. I mean, it might be because you're in here with us is why everybody else is. That's not why I'm doing it. I truly believe in Mr. Riley. That was the lead singer of Blackstreet was Teddy Riley, right? I just remember Riley. I know, Higgy, you don't know any R&B.
I was saying I know NSYNC. I don't know Backstreet.
I said Blackstreet, you moron. Of course you know NSYNC. Bye, Higgy. Is that the right ones?
Yeah.
Okay. See you later. I'm just kidding. Oh, the Ringside Podcast logo came up instead. You did put the pressure on him. But here's the thing. Pressure builds diamonds, and you talk about 5-star guys, he's a 5-diamond guy. And he's going to perform. Bye, Higgy. Look, everybody's bye. I'm going to tell you this right now. If you are close to 40 and you don't know who Blackstreet is, then you're an idiot. Now, Higgy, I know what you're going to say. I'm only 26. How old are you?
Will be 28 in 3 weeks.
I'm only 28. I don't know. You've never heard the song No Diggity?
No.
Oh, my God.
Maybe that should be the outro then.
Do you know who Boyz II Men is?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I was going to say. Do you know who Levert? Have you ever heard of Levert?
No.
Or Joe?
No.
Or Silk?
No.
Or Shy?
No.
H-Town?
I know O-Town.
Oh, my God. Yeah, okay. So Average is in his 20s, and he knows who Blackstreet is. You got to open up your mind. I know you're probably more of a Tim McGraw, Garth Brooks guy, but you got to know a little bit of everything. Higgy's got homework.
Cardinal, if I have homework, you have to bring me food.
That's not you don't want to put him out of business. That's not the rule.
Well, that's why Chris started on Friday and on the Wednesdays, all you can eat wings, just so I don't run him out of food.
Peggy said he's not hip, Jeremy. There you go. What's up, Sid? Sid the kid in here. JK says, dang it, Higgy. Like, I know he's a baby. You should still know who the all-time greats, and like that's not even going back like to what was considered oldies when I was a kid. Like these are gosh. That's true. That's Wes said Higgy wasn't around our delegation like you were, my brother. That's true. Higgy's from Bullock County. We didn't nothing against Bullock County.
I was gonna say Steve came from Bullock County too, so don't be talking bad.
Yeah, I said what I said. I'm not the happiest with Steve right now. So yeah, 90s R&B. But we avoided places like Fairdale and Bullock County when we were growing up because we didn't want to get shot at for no reason. So Higgy is a big Britney Spears fan.
No, I'm more of a sheriff guy than I am Britney Spears.
You're a who?
A Cher guy.
I thought you said sheriff.
No, Cher, like Sonny and Cher.
No, I know who Cher. So you know who Cher is, but you don't know who Blackstreet is?
No.
Jeff Nunn says you were a big supporter of the Georgia-Florida line or whatever garbage that is. Listen, I have personally seen Higgy twerk to Party in the USA. So that just tells you what kind of musical taste that Higgy has.
Yeah, I do like the Miley Cyrus.
Let's refer to the Uncle Larry says let's refer to the defensive line as the junkyard dogs. I like it. Steve's got a little soul in him. You know why? Because he's been hanging around me for the last 18 years. He's been hanging around me and Big Farley for the last 18 years. That's why when I met Steve was the average honky around. I guess that's one of our listeners' names. I will send him a playlist. Yes. Kelly's going to send you a playlist and you listen to it, you study it. There's going to be a test on it at some point this season.
I was going to say, all this music talk, are we going to change the third down music this year, we think?
No, I don't want to. I don't want to at all. Higgy sends, okay, Jeff Nunn says, Higgy sends shirtless texts. Do y'all think that's true or false, first off, while we sit here and answer these other things? Anthony Easton says that Higgy probably thinks Luke Bryant is real country.
No.
Okay.
There's only one true real country artist.
No, that's not true. There's plenty of great. Listen, I'm not going to get into you don't know. You only know one genre.
Who's your Mount Rushmore then?
Of all music?
Of country music.
Oh, no. Let's do all music.
Okay.
Because I'm not closed-minded, narrow-minded like you. First off, the answer is yes. Higgy sent me. He didn't send me a shirtless picture. The night before his first assignment for CSZ, he Snapchat called me, and he was shirtless. And I asked him what the heck was he doing. Me and Steve were running at Bullet Central. We used to go get our nightly runs in there. That's back when I was living in Shepherdsville. Oh my God! Hit Jeremy with that, or hit Higgy with that Tennessee whiskey. All right, I'm gonna give 5. I'm gonna do 5. I'm gonna go with. Can I say a band or like a group, or does it have to be just singular? This is your rules, Higgy.
Okay, you can do a group because I already got a group in my top 5.
Okay, bye Higgy, bye. I'm gonna go. Boys to Men is absolutely my number 1 of all time in that genre. Luke Combs is my number 1 of all time in that genre. Carrie Underwood, one of the most beautiful raw voices I've ever heard in my entire life. One that's not on most people's list is Joe. Joe had a unique voice, and he was really good. And gosh, who would be number 5? I know you said Mount Rushmore. That's only 4. Who would be my 5th? Yeah, Higgy is at the end of the road because I can let go, and it will be natural. Gosh, who would be my fifth?
I was gonna say, you want me to say mine while you're thinking?
Yeah,
of
yeah.
yours?
You say yours real quick.
Okay. Lionel Richie, the Eagles, Garth Brooks, Luke Combs, and Billy Joel.
Okay. Well, first off, who was the first? You just threw Lionel Richie in there because you didn't want to give all white people. We all know what the deal is there, Higgy. Beyonce, that's a good. Yeah. Hashtag fire Higgy. Get that started on Twitter right now. Hashtag fire Higgy. Hashtag get Sean a date. Hashtag Higgy ain't got no soul. That's what we'll do tonight. Yeah, Higgy and Wesley are the same age, and Wes knows more. I got to know. Yes, Cardinal, the one and only Joe. Who would be my fifth? And I want to make it a female because I went so male heavy with the top three. I like Kelly Clarkson. I think she's got a beautiful voice too. JK's disappointed in you, Higgy.
When is he not?
That's true. Very true. Uncle Larry says touchdown squirrel for the MVP of the team. I hope not. That means we'll be sitting around watching the squirrel and not watching us score touchdowns. I would think if you looked at my iPod, those would probably be my most listened to. But as far as groups, you got Shy was one of my favorite groups growing up.
The Eagles.
Mariah Carey, awesome. Beyonce, awesome. We should have said top 10. That would have made it a lot easier for me not to leave people out. But I could listen to Boys to Men. 112, that's another underrated group that I really, really liked that didn't really stick around for too long, but when they were around.
Top 15, Anthony. Top 15.
Pretty dope. No, Michael Jackson. That's who I was forgetting. Yes, JK. He threw the Eagles in there.
What's wrong with the Eagles?
Cardon. Thank you. I knew I was new edition. Don't even ask Higgy. Higgy don't know nothing about Cool It Down, Count Me Out, If This Isn't Love, Mr. Telephone Man, none of them. Absolutely. You know what, Higgy? I may just revoke your card from being on the show. You are not cool enough to be on my show anymore. How do we? He went with if I could turn back time over the rest of them. No, Sunny Days. He's out of here. He's gone. I'm just kidding. He's back. No, I could literally my very first. And not to get, we've already gotten off topic, and we'll wrap up here so y'all can have fun on your Saturday night. But I would say that New Edition was probably my first ever, their first cassette that they released. That makes me sound old when I say stuff. The first cassette that they released was probably my first R&B cassette ever.
What's a cassette?
Shut up, Higgy. And so I got. It was one Easter. Mom and Dad got me the New Edition cassette, their first album, but it was on cassette, and Duran Duran, and I loved them both.
I was gonna say Duran Duran was a good group back in the day.
The Reflex, but that's the only song I liked on the whole cassette. I would play it, the Reflex. Higgy, what do you know? Higgy is a huge fan of Donnie and Marie. That's what I'll tell you. That's how I'll leave that.
I know ABBA and I know the Bee Gees.
Jeff said that I'm old. Jeff, I'm still 6 years younger than you, even if I am old. And trust me, I'm getting up there. Like as much as I've tried to stop the counter on my birthday, that thing keeps going up.
We just know Gramps knows Frank Sinatra by first name basis. So
Jeff and Moses were in the same homeroom class, so I don't even want to hear anything from Jeffrey Nunn. Which, by the way, really happy to hear that Jeff's dad's doing a lot better. Been praying for you, buddy. Been praying for him. Even though you said you loved Higgy at the beginning of the show, I still gonna throw you a little love. It might be unwarranted, but it is what it. Jeff said Jesus was his class president, so that's how old Jeff is. Man, I'm looking jacked, baby. Hall & Oates, another great group. So I mean, we could talk about this. We may just have to have an impromptu non-CS, and I'm glad I mentioned that because over the next few months, and I'll try to make sure it's labeled somehow. But we may be doing We've been getting some interviews. So my second podcast is called the Ringside Podcast, and I do that with Daniel Spencer, Eric Cornish, Linda Kay, and we've been getting some big time interviews with some of the WWE guys. AEW guys will be in the future. Impact Wrestling, we've been doing those, and we may try to stream those live on the CSZ restream account. So if you don't like wrestling, you're still going to get the notification. Just look in, pop out. It is what it is. Wild Boys by Duran Duran. JK, listen, you just need to be. You don't know none of these. Nothing. You don't know nothing.
Okay, then send me a playlist and I'll start listening to some of those old stuff.
You're out of touch. Was that Hall & Oates or Duran Duran? You're out of touch. I'm out of touch. And I'm out of my head when you're not around. Sorry, I don't. It was an awesome song.
How about Hungry Like the Wolf?
You look like a wolf. Hey, look, new Kids. I can't even front, man. When New Kids on the Block came around, The Right Stuff, that song was the song of the summer. We bopped it the whole summer outside. Swimming pool, had the cassette. You know what a cassette deck is, don't you? A boom box.
Yeah.
Okay, we had the boom box out by the pool.
You had me get you one, remember?
Oh yeah. That's right. I do. It's still up in my room too. I found a whole. The funny thing is I found a whole bunch of cassette tapes. I guess where even before I was a podcaster or a radio personality, I've always been a talker. Y'all know this. Those that have known me forever know I never shut up. And I found a whole bunch of cassette tapes back from when me and so 25 years ago when me and Teresa first got together. Me and Teresa's marriage is almost older than Higgy. That makes me feel old. I'm still way awesomer than he is. So that kind of evens it out a little bit. But checking the cassette tapes, and I'm sitting there freestyle rapping on some of them. I'm singing because I can sing. I can't sing as Higgy would say it. I can sing in the past tense, but presently. And I found a whole bunch of like love songs I was singing her. And we would have joke offs with my friends, and we'd record them and listen to them back. So, it is what it is. That's how we have fun. Let's see, Wes said, me too. I was mainly raised on soul, R&B, funk, disco. As a kid, my mother didn't want me listening to hip hop. I didn't get to listen to a whole bunch of rap because if it had cuss words in it and I played that in my house, I get smacked through the wall. So it never happened because I was always smart enough to believe that they would smack me through the wall, whether they would or not. Let's see. Tom Jeffries is back in the house. Was good. Okay. Tom said he said it was Hall & Oates, Out of Touch, like Higgy. That's what the name of this episode is going to be, Out of Touch, featuring Higgy. Do I know who Betty Wright is? The name sounds familiar. And no, Higgy, she doesn't mean Betty White. Y'all, this was a lot more fun of an episode than I anticipated it being. I want to remind you all again. Let's go ahead and throw that ticker on. No, let me edit it first because Higgy did it incorrectly the first time. Save. Show. Nope, not the official. Wrong one. Make sure y'all check out our season preview for football next Saturday night at 7 p.m. with a very special guest. We should have Dalton. We should have Sam. Should have Sean. Joey should be here. I don't know if Higgy will be here. I don't even know if I'll be here. I may just turn it over to them because you can only have so many people on anyway. So I'm not sure I'm going to invite Higgy or not. I don't know. I'm totally joking. If he's available, he can be on the show. But we're going to have a blast. I'll just let that run for the rest of the time we're talking. Yeah. Zapp and Rogers. Same Jeremy. I couldn't even have toy guns, knives, or nothing. Well, you know what? I had one of those stupid little cap guns that made you shot them and it smelled. I could still smell the cap gun.
Same.
I had water guns, but I wasn't allowed to have any. I don't know why water guns were okay, but we were not allowed to have knives or anything like that.
I can just smell the gun smoke from a cap gun right now.
Yeah. Anthony says he's old enough to have recorded songs from the radio on cassette tapes. Bro, if you never knew the struggle of calling into DJX or 96.5 and requesting a song and them saying it's coming up this hour and you hit and record on your cassette recorder just for that one song, and every time it would be like 10 duty songs, and the song you recorded would be the very last one in the hour. So you had 9 songs you didn't listen to and one you really, really liked. So yeah, I did that as well. Gotta go, gotta get ready from okay, Miss Kelly. Have a good time tonight. I appreciate you tuning in. And I hope you tune in next Saturday night at 7 p.m. for the season preview. First episode of season 5 of the CSZ podcast. Let's see. William Lee said average white band. Okay. Sounds very mediocre. Let's see. Any other things on Facebook? No. So Higgy, why did you thank you, but why did you eliminate your picture from the screen? Higgy. All right. Well, it's always better when he's not on anyway, so we'll just kick him all the way out. Very interesting. And my mom's sleep talking, so that's going to be good for y'all to hear. Okay, Higgy's coming back. Let's see. Higgy, what did you do? I can't hear you.
I said, not me. This one here.
Okay. All right. I guess I'll forgive you. Make sure, as always, y'all check out the great photo galleries we have at cardinalsportzone.com. Jeff, JK, TJ. We also got a new photographer joining the team this season. We'll talk about that later. No. Me, I was average white band. Average is mediocre. That was just a joke. My bad. It went over the head like everything I say does to Higgy. Shout out to all of our fine sponsors: Fitness Market, Shack in the Back, 4 Pegs, Derby City Lawn and Landscaping. Thank y'all for everything y'all have done. I do not know if all of those are coming on with us for next season. Some of them are, and we'll let y'all know next week, obviously, who those will be. Let's see who else is joining in. Sean, what's up? Make sure if you want to sponsor the podcast, you know somebody who might, send them my way. I'm at Jeremy_CSZ on Twitter. I'll take care of you on social media. You can find us on all the social media. Let me pull that banner off so people can see. You can find us on all the social medias that are underneath Higgy's third chin right there. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, X, Threads, whatever you want to call it. You can find them on all those. And if you want to support the podcast monetarily, you can underneath that are underneath my bicep there. Boom, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. Make sure you go to cardinalsportzone.com, the place that I'll begin to check out those photo galleries, by the way. And if you haven't listened to all the episodes of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast, go to cardinalsportzone.com, hit the podcast drop-down menu, select CSZ Podcast. Higgy's keeping them updated for y'all, I hope, or he's fired. You can also find the podcast on all the podcast avenues: Apple, iTunes, Buzzsprout, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google, Amazon, iHeart, and many more, over 125 in all. Hit subscribe, follow, like, whatever you got to do to get the notifications. Like when we go live on YouTube, make sure you're liking the YouTube page. So the YouTube channel, sorry. So you get notified when we go on immediately. Like I said, we might come out. We're going to try to work on some new content, whether it be a 10-minute Higgy show. We want to bring out some new content. So that's going to be coming up in the next couple of weeks. You'll be able to see it here. It's not just going to be the CSZ podcast when you get the notification. We're going to have plenty of other stuff that we're going to be doing live. Very excited about it. We appreciate everybody out there sharing the podcast. We love and appreciate you all. As always, tune into our guys, Marcus Maben and Steve Rummage, from 10 to noon, Monday through Friday on ESPN 93.9 The Ville. They're doing the Lord's work there. Higgy, do you have any last words?
I was just going to say prayers out to Wesley Cox and family. I know we saw that coming through the Twitter timeline yesterday. Prayers out to him and his family. But other than that, we're less than 2 weeks from football season, guys. Can't wait.
We're about, 9 days? 10 days? Something like that?
13 days.
Yes, Walter. We don't have. I don't know why people thought we were going after that kid. I know the one Trilly dude said we were, but we don't have a scholarship to offer. We're out of scholarships. At least Higgy has good taste with dog breeds. even though he doesn't strike me as a pit bull guy. Higgy's got good taste as far as food is concerned too. He just don't share. Higgy has the wrestling heel turn beard tonight. I know, and I'm the only heel allowed on this show, so you're gonna have to shave, do something. I hate it. Love to all. Prayers up. Good to see you, 55. Good to see y'all. I need to start doing more. Like with the season starting, we'll be doing one every week. So the off season is officially over. So I'm glad to be able to hang out with y'all more often. Glad to see y'all as well. Higgy, do you have any final words for tonight?
Not that I know of, but I'll just say this. Everybody stay safe.
Okay.
Everybody stay safe, and we're 13 days from college football season.
Mom woke up from her snore-filled sleep to say good night, Higgy. I don't know why she likes you so much. It's sickening. You promised to come visit her in the hospital and no-showed her the one time. So I don't know why she would even like you at all. But
I told her happy birthday yesterday.
True. That makes up for it, I guess. My final words are this. Let's stop the ones that are being cantankerous. Let's stop being cantankerous. Let's support the school. Let's support our coaches that are here. They love this school. They weren't happy with last season. They're not happy with the crap going down now. They are here for the University of Louisville. They love us. They're going to put out a great quality product this year, I believe, in both basketball, football, volleyball, women's basketball. I said basketball, men's and women's basketball, baseball. It's time for year of the card, too, as long as that doesn't follow up with 8 years of bad luck like the last one did. Guess that's my final words. Be nice to everybody. Love everybody. It is what it is. Positive energy, y'all. Go Cards, like William and Cardinal just said. I'm hitting that fire outro music, even though my man Yoda didn't tell me to. He's not here with us today. But, yeah. Thanks, everybody out there. Make sure you're liking, you're promoting, whatever you can do to help us out. We appreciate it. Thanks again for all the support. We love you guys. Until next time, this has been the Cardinal Sports Zone Podcast. Higgy, why are you doing the show right in front of your pantry?
Huh?
No comment.